We have our Sam Rodgers, who is actually, are you in Lewiston? Yeah, it looks like you're in Lewiston. Hi, Sam.
Yeah, hey Amanda, just wanted to kind of give everyone, you back at the studio and everyone at Maine, just kind of a peel back behind the scenes of what Jack Mohammed and Derek Thayer, our photographer, experienced inside Lewiston City Hall during that press conference. Jack and I getting out of the car, walking in, two city councilors out front. They looked at us both. This was when we had a very good understanding, hearing from our sources that this was an announcement that police found the body of Robert Card. We walked in, they looked at us, gave us a thumbs up and said, we finally got some good news. And that was pretty much the sense of the vibe that we got in the city council chambers. I couldn't get an exact count. It looked like almost all of the Lewiston city councilors, at least the majority of them, were there. Of course, Governor Mills. And it was for the first time we've seen law enforcement and state officials smiling since this all came and started to unwind on Wednesday night. And just to kind of back up, I know Hannah Kumler was saying, as you guys got on the air around 10 o'clock, that we were in the Lisbon Falls area Wednesday night. It was almost 48 hours to that point. When we were right on that stretch of road on Lisbon Street, when we were there, it seems like it's been a surreal, 2+ days. And just to kind of bring things back to City Hall, because we did speak with the Lisbon Chief of Police, Ryan McGee, and we didn't get him on camera or anything, but as we walked by him going into the council chambers, he just said he was relieved. He's so thankful for his officers and all the hard work that they've done. We told him that Jack and I and all of our field crews, all the field crews around the country that are here, we're thankful for them, for their work, not only in the manhunt to find Robert Card, but to keep everyone in the community and in the press safe. And that is kind of another theme here, press still hanging around. I counted at least 13 different crews around City Hall. Again, just such a big sigh of relief. And then just kind of on my phone, as we've been talking, the UMaine system sending out a text alert, alerting everyone in that campus system of the news. I'm sure you guys mentioned, but all of our phones seem to light up and make alarms at once. That was the statewide alert to let everyone know that the suspect had been found. And guys, I know there's a lot of you back at the desk, but again, after being in the field for so long, the adrenaline has been keeping us going. And when that starts to crash down, that's when we look to the next chapter of this story, which is how we as a city in Lewiston, as a community, as a country, kind of get together. And it starts with, of course, consoling the victims, their families, and everybody involved in it. But now it's, I think, a relief. We kept hearing that word that we're on to the next chapter here.
Yeah, and Sam, I want you to stay with us for a little bit. We were just showing aerial footage of the scene in Lisbon Falls where Robert Card's body was found, and you were not far from there, just about a 2-minute drive away at that boat ramp today where police were really honing in their search. Can you talk about kind of what the effort was like there today?
Yeah, Zach. Well, just first, as I'm sure you've mentioned, and in that press conference, the Commissioner of the Public Safety, law enforcement will be kind of continuing that investigation, hopefully getting more details about the circumstances of finding the body, because as you pointed out, not just myself and Jacob Richards today, our photographer, but we had crews in that exact area. Again, we're not talking about a long stretch of road. We've repeated it time and time again, from where Lisbon High School was to where the press staging area was about 2 miles. So think about how many cameras, how many officers, how many other agencies were patrolling and driving by that stretch since Wednesday night. So of course we were in that area. It was very active in the morning. It slowed down in the afternoon and evening. And again, we're hoping to get more information about what led law enforcement to go to this facility around 7:45 and ended up finding the body, because again, there was at least 30 cameras and reporter crews, all the law enforcement in the Lisbon area on the water and boats. We had confirmed that there were 3 dive teams preparing to search the water, helicopters overhead. And again, I was speaking with some folks back at the station when we got back tonight, and that 2-hour stretch from about 10 a.m. to noon, right by that boat launch in Lisbon, that was the busiest time I think that I've experienced in this whole manhunt. And again, it took until 7:45 tonight for law enforcement to find the body.
And Sam, sorry to keep bugging you with questions here, but you have kind of a unique perspective where you are because you have been at every single scene. All of these scenes have been very active since Wednesday night. You've been at each one. Last night you were in Bowdoin with our Alex Haskell, and you kind of gave us a glimpse of just the amount of presence with the reporters and photographers from all over the world at this point coming into Maine. This is a big thing here in Maine. And it's been a little overwhelming, I think, for some of these small communities. Can you speak on that a little?
Yeah, and Amanda, actually I have a perfect anecdote. Full disclosure, my girlfriend is in another city in the country right now, a popular major city. She was at a bar when this press conference was starting and sent a picture. The live stream coverage of this press conference was played at the bar. Again, this was not in New England, this is across the country. That just kind of goes to show the attention that we have seen. And speaking candidly to a couple sources within law enforcement, they did say it was a bit much, of course, because if you think about it, for all the Mainers out there listening, when there's big breaking news in the Portland area, there's 3 television stations. In Bangor, there's also 3. And today, at every scene, at every media gaggle is what we call it in the industry, when a law enforcement officer or a politician walks up and everyone just throws microphones as close to them as possible. It was circled around them, and I think that was a bit, I think on the inside maybe a little overwhelming, but again, credit to our law enforcement and public safety officials for handling all the requests and everything that's going on. Again, as I said a few minutes ago, some crews are starting to pack up now, but if you've ever been inside a city hall or city council chambers, that room is not that big. I couldn't get an exact count on how many cameras were there, but for context, on that podium, if you're looking at the podium shot where the governor led things off, Jack and I were kind of ducking in the front. It was totally packed in, a lot of attention, of course, here in Maine. Mainers wanting to check in on everybody that they know, especially if they know folks in the Lewiston area. But again, the national support for Maine, I think, is something that we've seen, and I know Chris and I have talked about this too, but just the Boston Bruins with the Lewiston Strong jersey hanging up on the glass the other night, the sticker helmets, every professional sports team in the New England area sharing their condolences. I think we're going to start to see maybe some more tributes soon. Again, not just here in Maine as we begin to move forward. We had a shot up earlier. I don't know if you were able to take it, but the light tower, bell tower here at City Hall has been illuminating blue. That Lewiston Strong theme. It may start with just one light bulb, but I think it's going to spread throughout the state and, guys, I think really throughout the country.
Yeah, that it will. And as those national news crews head out, we will be staying here. We will continue to tell this story for as long as it takes and continue to tell the story of those 18 victims.